friends, I am back again with some videos about some of the things I've been trying to work through myself, and I wanted to share this in case it resonated with somebody. And today's topic will be about the anxiety some of us experience about being on call. So I'm a general internist and I've been practicing independently for about 2 years now. And one of the things that's taking me the longest to self-coach and get help from coaching from others is through working through my anxiety about being on call overnight. I have different set of beliefs about being on call during the day because my belief system is that I have a lot more help, a lot more resources, I will figure it out. So I feel very confident coming on to day call and working through my patients then. But at nighttime, the situation is a bit different because there are less people around, ICU is not in-house, there's less resources, and you're the only kind of person that's responsible for a lot of the acute issues that are going on the ward patients and the patients that require admission. So I have had to work through a lot of mental drama about being on call overnight. Let's start off with 3 things that I have found quite helpful in dealing with some of the issues that keep coming up for me and how to tackle them. Ask your brain better questions. So what I've realized when I started tuning in more to listening to what my brain was asking me and telling me, it sounded very much like things like, what if it's really busy? What if somebody really sick comes in? What if you don't know what to do? And all of those seem like valid factual questions because I have lots of evidence to show me that the nights are busy, there are lots of acute sick patients that can come in, and my brain comes up with the worst case scenarios. But what I've noticed is if I practice intentionally asking myself better questions that sound something like, what is the algorithm for unstable bradycardia, for example, or what are the drugs that you have to give in an intubation scenario? Things that I don't have immediately at my fingertips because I don't use it as often on a daily basis, but that I do need to know for being on call. So then my brain goes into more solution mode. If I don't have the answers available immediately to my brain when I ask that question, I know that I can do some pre-work before going on call, review, have tips available to me immediately on the phone, or I make little kind of cheat sheets for myself that I keep in my pocket just in case my brain fires faulty that night, and I just have a resource that I can quickly pick up and I know where to look. Now, I know a lot of you watching will be like, well, of course, that's what you should be doing, but let me tell you, it's this is something my daughter always says, let me tell you, mama. So anyways, even though we know intellectually that's what we should be doing, a lot of our brains still like to sit in the anxiety because it's so familiar. We know it so well. Even though it feels like crap, we still kind of hold on to it. And then we buffer away that unpleasant feeling with something like going on social media, for example, or I'll even cook something or work out. It doesn't always have to be a bad buffering situation, but I can still kind of hear the hum of those kind of hypothetical catastrophic questions as opposed to asking myself more questions that will serve me more. Asking myself, what if it's really busy, doesn't serve me in any way, shape, or form. So it's really just being intentional about the things you allow your brain to showcase to you. One of the things that I want you to be careful about post-call, because what would happen when I was a young staff is I would get home, I would follow up on all of the things that I ordered, all the tests, I would reread my dictations and be in a state of horror, sometimes of the things that I dictated, some like ridiculous things that I didn't think of. I would do a lot of self-judgment, a lot of reflection of I should have done this, I should have done this. You know, I can't believe I forgot to do this. I should have done this better. There's so much of that your brain can go into. And the fact is that it will not serve your patient at all if you self-criticize. So I'm really trying to be intentional about not to do the self-talk that is so negative anymore and really focus, okay, that's good to know. I will know for my next patient. I will know for my next patient. I will know for my next patient. Really, when you dwell in a lot of self-criticism, it all becomes about you, that you should have done this. It's not serving anybody. It's not serving you. It's not serving your patient. So please be kind to yourself. And the truth is, medicine is so imperfect. We, especially at nighttime, deal with so many emergencies, so many patients, that there is plenty of room for error, and you do your best. It doesn't mean that we don't work towards a system that's so much better for our patients. It's not either or, in my opinion. To me, you can do both. You can focus on improving your thought process, your functioning, and also work towards improving our healthcare system. The last thing that I want to bring up that's taking my brain the longest to wrap my mind around, and that's why I've been a bit hesitant to share it, but it's a work in progress, so we'll go with it, is that call in and of itself doesn't cause your feeling. Whatever is coming up for you. For me, it's anxiety. For you, it may be some different feeling, but regardless, overnight call is a neutral circumstance. It's the amount of hours that you're responsible for caring for patients in the hospital, and you may receive X amount of calls, X amount of patients, X amount of consults. That doesn't cause your feeling. Your feeling of fear or anxiety comes from the fact of what you're thinking about that circumstance. And it's a very important distinction. The reason why is because then you can train your brain what you want to think about that circumstance. And I'm not suggesting that you have to feel good or confident right away about call or not want to change the system. Not at all. And you can choose to continue thinking that this is truly the most challenging part of my job. And definitely, I'm nowhere in a place to say that I'm in a positive place about being on call. No, but I think our brain and our thoughts can sometimes make it worse than it is. And it's so powerful to realize that I can actually train my brain to think something differently. Okay, my loves, this is a quick synopsis of what I am working through in terms of being on call. I hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to interacting with you more. All right.